This cat, you guys, this cat is so needy. Yes, you are. Hey yogis, welcome to this short tutorial about a headstand and how to get into it. First of all, in yoga, since this is a yoga channel, we always are trying to go for feeling safe and feeling good. You don't need to push yourself into place where you feel uncomfortable. Moreover, if you push yourself into a place when you don't feel uncomfortable, then it might happen, you panic, and your body is just like, oh, what's happening? And this is when you can, I don't want to say injure yourself, but it's when you panic, it doesn't feel good. This is definitely not where you want to go. I mean, why? Why would you? So I'm all for using wall behind you in anything where you feel that you're going to fall, even for leg balances. Why not? So in all the inversions, basically in all the inversions, what you want to achieve is to feel almost light. So maybe this is where you start to feel a little bit like, where am I? Or what's happening? Because if you can perfectly stack your joints one on top of the other, then you are going to feel very light. You don't need the stabilizing muscles, or actually the moving muscles to hold you where you are, but finding those stabilizing muscles and finding your basis where you are standing on, in this case upside down, is very important. So in a headstand, it's either your head and your palms in the tripod, or in the supported variation, it's your elbows and your palms. It doesn't even have to be your head. So this variation is much easier for those that have or are afraid of neck issues, and the tripod is more available for people that feel that neck is fine, they're young, they can put some pressure on the neck. To find a stable neck, again, you just need to stack the bones. In this case, it's a slight double chin, where your bones stuck, you send the head back, everything is nice. And that position is also when you're upside down. So if you bring the head down all the way, you want to find that double chin, the top of the head. It's more the back of the top of the head that is on the ground, and the palms, just bring them away from you. And what we are going to just find out first here is how comfortable you feel with some pressure on your head. So you press the palms down, so there is some pressure on the palms. You spread your fingers, you turn the fingers slightly out. The palms are as wide as your shoulders, the elbows are squeezing in. You tuck your toes, you bring the chin in, and you lift your knees. You're still pressing with your hands, so there is a lot of weight on your hands. See how this feels like. And get used to it. Stay there. Slowly lower the knees down, eventually lifting the head up. Notice also the effect once you come up. How well is adjusted, how well your body is adjusted to come back from being upside down to being straight. Sometimes you can start feeling a little bit dizzy, but the more often you do, your body is going to get used to it. For the second variation, this one needs more kind of compression and more compactness in your hips. So see, coming to your child's pose, how are you feeling there? Where is your spine? So grab one hand and use it to feel your low back, especially if you don't have microphones there. Notice how much your spine is rounded. If you find it rather straight, that's great. If it's rounded a lot, you are going to have to work a little bit more to find that stacking, to bring the hips higher. Same option for your head, same position, only this time you're interlacing the fingers behind the back of the head, chin is in, and the elbows are going to press up. The more narrow you bring the elbows, the longer is going to be your lever forward, backwards, because you need to use this lever, those elbows, to press into the ground to lift your hips, eventually your legs up. Again, for safety, find the wall behind you in case you maybe bring your legs up, but you want to have that wall to feel safer. So interlace the fingers, chin in, back of the head presses into the palms. It creates even more stability for your neck, actually pressing the head back against something. Elbows are in and they are already pressing into the ground, so almost as if you wanted to lift everything away. You tuck your toes, you lift your knees, and your head doesn't even need to touch the ground, it's your arms pressing down. And if you press the elbows, notice how that maybe makes your hips coming up, 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 up. Then take a break, knees down, child's pose, forehead comes down. Relax your shoulders, take a breath there. Exhale. Then use your hands to press against the ground to come back. One more time, this time we're going to lift and come into more of a compression. This requires some hamstrings, so chin in, head presses back, elbows press back, lifting your knees. Walk, 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 walk. And see how heavy the legs are. So try to lift one foot up, knee comes to the chest. See if you can press with those elbows to feel the other leg lighter and then change. And again, see how heavy it feels. Then walk back, knees down, take a child's pose, recover from what were you doing. One way to make it easier, in case your spine is very round, like because your legs are, for example, shorter, or your torso is extremely long, or you just don't have that compression, that hip flexion ability to have the legs, the thighs closer to your body, elevate your feet. So use blocks underneath your feet. The higher you go, even using maybe a shorter chair is an option. You bring the knees on those blocks, interlace, tucking the chin, head presses back, elbows down, lifting the knees up, hips up, and bring the feet on top of the blocks. And see here, how does that feel? My blocks are a little bit too close, so shift your blocks further back if they're too close. See how high the hips can go again. Knee in, make yourself compact on that one leg. The more closer you bring the heel, the more compact you become, and the least heavier you will be. Slowly legs down, lifting up, coming to your child's pose again. Making yourself compact and smaller, and not having things being far away from this straight line makes coming into the headstand easier. Another way is if you have a good forward fold with legs wide, to come from there, because if your leg is here, it's going to be heavy if you need to lift it all the way up. However, if you bring the leg to the side, your core, your spine only needs to lift a small amount of the weight that is forward, because the legs are on the sides. So you have to be just using your hips, not your spine, lifting and holding the weight of your legs. Again, option to use blocks. So you bring your blocks a little bit wider, head down, pressing the head against the palms, elbows pressing down, squeezing the elbows in, lift the hips on one foot, on one block, second on the second. How high can you bring your hips? How light can your feet feel like Again, you can bend the knees or straight legs into straddle splits. And then how slow can you come back? So coming down is equally important as coming up. You should feel this in your shoulders as well, because you're trying to almost use your shoulders to press the elbows down, right? So it's lifting the arms up rather than feeling it on your head. And that's it from me. I hope you liked this video, and let me know if you have any more questions, if you want to know more variations, other poses. I'm taking requests because I haven't been doing YouTube for ages and I want to come back to it. You can always practice with me on my Zoom classes and as well on moving. Thank you so much. Pew! Pew, pew, pew. Nothing moves you. What are you focusing on? Can you do a headstand? No, he can't.